everybody, and welcome to the Makers of Minnesota podcast, where we talk to cool people doing cool things. And today we are talking to a magazine that's doing a cool thing. We're talking to Arthur Morrissey from Minnesota Monthly, and they have an event that I am really interested in called Grill Fest. And I like the idea of it because it's out at Twin City Bank Stadium. It's one of the first kind of open air events that we get to do. But there are so many Minnesota makers involved. Arthur, how long have you guys been doing Grill Fest?
This year will be our 10th
Oh,
year.
wow.
Yeah, so it's a big one.
And in terms of like what people can expect when they buy a ticket, can you give me a little bit of a rundown?
Yeah, so you can buy a ticket for Saturday, May 21st or Sunday, May 22nd, and you can do that at grillfestival.com. It is an all-inclusive ticket for that day, which is the really fun part, because with that, you're going to get the opportunity to sample the most mouth-watering foods made right from the grill. And we're going to have 30, 40 grills there with a variety of groups from Traeger, from Memphis Grill, from Northern Fire, from a bunch of different restaurants throughout the Twin Cities, all making things on there. So you get to sample all that food, and that's included in the price. So you're not coming in, you're not buying additional food. You also get to come in and sample all the beverages. And oh boy, do we have a few beverages.
You sure do. I was looking on your website. Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have a margarita mania battle. So we have 5 different restaurants making margaritas where you get to sample those. We have a Bloody Mary battle where, again, 5 different restaurants are going to be, or not restaurants, more mixes are going to be making Bloody Marys for you to sample those. We have enough craft beer and seltzers and wine, summer wines to, probably fill CHS Field, 2 or 3 times over. So all that's included with the price of just $65. And of course, it's going to be beautiful, 80 degrees downtown St. Paul. You have my guarantee on that.
Yes, I'm hoping. So you guys are at at CHS Field. I think I said Twin City Bank Stadium.
We have too many stadiums here in the Twin Cities to keep track of. So, CHS Field in downtown St. Paul.
Okay, awesome. Now, I went on your website and I was looking because I'm particularly interested in the Minnesota makers.
Yeah.
And you have quite a few people that we've interviewed before. You have like the Great Scrape, which makes obviously the awesome grill scraper. There's also the Salsa Collaborative. There is, Here's the Deal Spices, Bear Honey. You've also got some new brands that I had not heard of before. The Two Dads Bloody Mary mix. Do you know much about that?
For Two Dads, I do know a bit. They are, the whole concept behind that is really cool. And it's sort of looking at Bloody Marys through a new perspective. It was created by truly two dads. and I don't know. I don't necessarily think of dads and Bloody Marys, I guess, together. But I think it's a really cool idea that it's, these two guys that came together. They want to just focus on doing 3 different types. So they have a Bloody Mary, kind of the standard Bloody Mary. They have a Bloody Caesar, and then they have a jalapeno margarita.
Yum.
And what they really want to do is just sort of differentiate their brand, their stories, their product from everybody else out there. So it's a really cool little story. 2 guys from Minnesota, they just, decided, hey, let's do this. Let's give it a shot.
I love it. And there's other brands too that are new, like Face Punch Foods. They do spices and spice rubs that are real fun. And then Bull Vinos out of St. Paul.
Yeah.
I had not heard of either.
Oh, you haven't? So Bull Vinos, think Fogo, and I'm sure Bull Vinos won't like me using that, but that's, the idea that we have. It's actually right next to CHS Field, and it's in the space just north of the farmers market.
Right.
So it's a restaurant. They've been plowing through during COVID. It's owned by a family that is running it, that is operating it. They do a great job Again, they're local, and they have great food. They were out at our food and wine event at Target Field back in March. They loved it so much. They just love the opportunity to engage with people and to share their story of what they're doing with a focus on the meat.
Yeah. And it's like Argentinian, there's a special
Mhm.
name for it, but where they come and they give you all the meats that they serve tableside.
Yeah, so yeah, you tell them when you're ready for more meat, and they come over and they slice it right in front of you. So you get that kind of real great experience of, being able to talk with the individuals that have been making the food, to them
Right.
cutting it and sharing it with you.
So we're totally going to get the meat sweats at CHS Field at Grill Fest.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And I'm glad you mentioned face punch, because actually this morning, I got to keep track of the time, about 40 minutes ago, I put some ribs on my smoker using the face punch rub. I'm using their spicy meat rub
Yum.
for the first time. So I'm giving that a shot. But that's another great story. A local guy who's been doing sauces, doing barbecue sauces, doing rubs for the last 20 years. 20 years. I
Yeah.
mean, a local person, and has been, battling through all of that for 20 years, and now is sort of really building up some more steam. And I think we forget about that sometimes when we think about these small, business owners, and mean really small. I mean, this is typically, a woman, a man, working out of their basement, working out of their garage, working out of their kitchen, and they are battling. I mean, they're doing all the
Yep.
things that the major companies that we think of are doing, and they're trying to find ways, to grow that business, to grow that popularity. Some want to get into the big retail stores. Some don't want to deal with the logistics, the politics of that.
Right.
But they're dealing with all the challenges that big companies are dealing with, except they don't have the resources. And I think that's what makes what we do, with whether it's Grill Fest or Minnesota Monthly and the stories we tell in there, or any of our events, when we get to work with these small business groups, artisans, makers, it's special. It
Yeah.
really is special.
Some of the other folks that will be there, Bear Honey. Have you had they have a hot honey that I just am crazy about.
That goes so well, like on a charcuterie board.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I mean it's one of those things that you can put a little bit of that on almost anything on the charcuterie board, out on a beautiful Friday, Saturday night on your patio. Yes, bear honey is absolutely one of my favorites. And sort of along those lines, I don't know if have you heard of Mixley?
Yes, I have actually. We podcasted with them
Oh,
and
did
they're
you?
making
Perfect.
ready to make drink mixes. And also
Mhm.
you've got Muddle and Mint out there.
Yeah, yeah. The sort of make your cocktail easier at home concept is definitely gaining in its popularity. And the cool thing about whether it's Muddle and Mint or Mixley or any of the local groups is they have a much better connection to the source of their products, in my
Right.
opinion, than others. And I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but it is nice for them and for us to hear their stories when, they are, again, they're batching their cocktail mixes, and they're doing that using fresh ingredients. And many of them are, like to use honey, back to the bear honey thing, as the sweetener instead of some sort of artificial sugar or something of that
Right.
nature. Kind of, again, just keeping it much more farm based, locally based, which we in Minnesota and in the Midwest have a very strong connection to.
Yeah. And there's a new product that you guys have there that I've not even had yet called Hooch Booch hard kombucha.
Yeah, Hooch Booch, and so they are making ready to drink beverages, and are you familiar with RTDs, the big one now?
Yep.
Yep. So RTDs seem to be kind of the next wave of, we've had the seltzers, and seltzers are still going strong, but now it seems the RTDs is the way to go. Hooch Booch is really cool. We just had a secret best of tasting for Grill Fest, and Hooch Booch had a bunch of their products for our judges to taste and evaluate. They are doing a kombucha Hooch Booch. And I think that was so cool. I mean, you have the RTDs out there where you have the ready to make or ready to drink gin and tonic, the
Yep.
margarita, the vodka sour, whatever it may be. They went in kind of a totally different tangent and are doing a kombucha ready to drink. There's no alcohol in it, but it's locally made by a group here just outside of the Twin Cities. Really cool. And I love their name. I love to be able to say we got Hooch Booch.
Yeah, it is a pretty good name. And speaking of good names, Kickled Mary too, which is the pickle Bloody Mary mix. I assume they'll compete in your bloody contest.
They are. They've done it for a number of years. It's fun to see the growth of those with how they've been able to come to our events for a number of years. Started out, really just kind of we're going to have our space. We're going to engage with everybody that comes through. We're going to tell our story, and to watch their event activation, their presence at Grill Fest grow year after year, because they themselves are growing business wise.
Right.
And, able to get in more places to share their story more and more. Have you heard of North Malo?
Yeah. So they're a really sweet family company, and they've got the s'more kits. So what are you guys doing with them?
So I love their story, and it well. Mike and his wife Christine North Malo, they were camp counselors. If my memory serves from when I've talked with Mike before, I believe they actually met.
They did.
At camp.
They did.
And I mean, how can you go cleaner, and not roast marshmallows? So they, we all do the marshmallow thing, and they said, we got to do this better. We can do this better. We get it. And they are now doing weddings where they almost set up, like little marshmallow s'more kits and tastings there. But North Malo marshmallows, I mean, everything it can come as gluten-free. There's no preservatives. I think they have a vanilla bean, like a caramel one, and the traditional chocolate chip. So they're taking it up a notch. But just such a fun company. I mean, you look at where their branding is now and how they've, evolved that. They're still making everything themselves and growing it there. And I just love this story. I mean, s'mores. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Super sweet.
yeah.
Arthur, it's May 21st, and
Yes.
people can get tickets online. I'm really excited for you guys to have your 10th year. I didn't realize it had been so long, but congratulations for making it, just after the pandemic. And magazines, advertising has been tough I'm in radio, as you know, and it's just been tough as people are getting back to business. So congratulations.
Well, thank you. We're very excited. We appreciate our loyal audience who have just been fantastic through everything. And I hope that, you and your husband or you and a group of friends will come out on either Saturday or Sunday. You got to let me know. Okay.
All right. Absolutely. And we'll put a link for tickets in the show link, and we'll make sure that this gets posted this week so that people have a chance to get tickets and can join you. Thanks for supporting all the Minnesota makers. I love it.
Oh, they're fantastic. And yes, definitely buy local, shop local, get out there and thank them for everything that they have dealt with, and just appreciate they add character and culture to our communities.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Arthur. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.